This is a battlefield that we must stand upon. And we need to let President Obama, Harry Reid, Nancy Pelosi, take your message of equality of achievement, take your message of economic dependency, take your message of enslaving the entrepreneurial will and spirit of the American people somewhere else. You can take it to Europe, you can take it to the bottom of the sea, you can take it to the North Pole, but get the hell out of the United States of America.
Whoa. Ooh, someone got mad. Somebody got mad, and that someone joins us right now, one of my favorites in Congress, Congressman Allen West. An honor to have you on the Savage Nation.
Well, Dr. Savage, first let me say Happy New Year to you and your wife, and it's great being back on with you and sharing with the Savage Nation. Thank you.
Well, there's a lot to be said here. I'm sure that people are outraged that you dare say a thing like this. What's the heat been like?
Well, you know, I don't care about the heat because I have to tell the truth, and I think that there are times when you have to tell the American people what they need to hear and not what they may want to hear, and we don't need to sugarcoat this anymore. There is a message out there that is the antithesis to everything that we are as a constitutional republic, and it does not belong here on these shores. And I think that if this message continues to permeate throughout our nation, we're looking at the future and the legacy of this America that we should be all in love with be lost for our children and grandchildren.
Absolutely. In fact, if Obama is not stopped at the ballot box, we're going to lose the nation completely. Look at this story, Congressman West. Obama administration offers $75,000 grants to sign up more food stamp recipients. Can you believe a thing like this?
Yeah, well, once again, you have to get inside of his head and also the head of the liberal progressives. If they can get more people dependent upon them, dependent upon government, than there are out there producing, then they're going to win. It's just a sheer numbers game. And I think that when you go back and you read a book like Atlas Shrugged by Ayn Rand, or you read many of your books, you see exactly the roadmap that these guys have, and that is to get more people on food stamps. You've seen a 16% increase of people on the poverty rolls. To get more people that are sitting back saying, what will the government do for me, instead of unleashing that entrepreneurial spirit and American will, which is what I talked about, and that's what we have to get back to.
Over the last 3 years, Congressman, the number of Americans on food stamps has skyrocketed by 2/3. It stands at a record high 46 million citizens, or 1 out of 7 people in the U.S. is on food stamps. But apparently that's not enough for the Obamaites. They want more people, and they're offering $75,000 grants to groups who devise strategies to increase program participation. Why in the world are they allowed to get away with this? Where is Congress?
Well, you know, that's one of the things that we have to stand up and fight against. You know, when Newt Gingrich said food stamp president, he tried to get some heat. I went on news shows, and I said he's absolutely right. So I think that one of the things we have to look at is they have to come to the House of Representatives. We're the keepers of the purse, and we just won't allow them to have that. And
you mean they can't just do this by?
Yes.
I'm sorry. So they can't just do this by fiat, give out that grant?
No, they can't do. There are things that they can do by regulatory fiat, and I think you see that coming out of the NLRB. You see that coming out of the EPA. But you just can't start writing off money. As a matter of fact, the Obama administration is already about 2 to 3 weeks late on presenting their budget for fiscal year 2013, which you would think in the last year of his presidency they would be able to do. But then again, he's out campaigning all over the country. So, you know, creating a budget is not that important since we've gone close to about 1,007 days without having one.
What do you need a budget for? If you have Air Force One and a host of servants in the White House, what do you need a budget for? The nation comes last. Congressman, a caller asked me in the last segment about you and your district, and she alleged, and I think it's true, that your fellow Republicans are going to gerrymander your district out from under you. Is there any truth to that?
Yes, right now that seems to be the case. The Republicans in Florida have a supermajority in the House and the Senate. They have taken my district and made it about 4 to 5 percentage points stronger for Democrats. And I can't explain it. I don't understand it. There were many great citizens down here that are constituents of this district that supplied them with maps that would have met all the legal standards of Amendment 6 down here and also the Voting Rights Act. But, it is what it is, and I'll just have to fight hard.
Well, why are they doing it? Is it because you're too conservative? They say because you're a Tea Party favorite. The Republican Party is that disconnected from the will of their own base that they would do this?
Well, I think that you would probably have to call the Speaker of the House designate there and the President of the Senate, call the folks in the Florida legislature and ask them, because I can't explain it. And as a matter of fact, I'm just trying to do my best to be a good congressional representative for the people here. As a matter of fact, we had a hearing down here today about this oil rig that is about to be in place about 60 miles off Florida shore, which the Obama administration has been providing technical advice and guidance. It's a Chinese-made rig. It's a Spanish company, and they're going to start drilling off the coast, something that we're not allowed to do.
What in the heck? I know that there are something like 9 foreign nations drilling in the Gulf of Mexico, yet Obama prohibits Americans from drilling in the Gulf?
Yeah, well, that's in the Gulf. We're talking actually right off of Cuba's coast. And if you understand the Gulf Stream, and this is in waters that are deeper than Deepwater Horizon, if there is a catastrophic event, you're looking at South Florida just being absolutely decimated and our economy being destroyed. And let's not forget that 2 weeks ago, Mahmoud Ahmadinejad was visiting Cuba, and I'm sure they were talking about strengthening their ties.
Astounding what's going on in this under this administration.
And
I have to agree with your emotional outburst when you said they should leave the country, because they do not represent American values. There's no question that's what you meant.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And, I didn't, direct that toward individuals. I directed it toward their message of equality of opportunity. That's not America. America's about equality of achievement. America's about equality of opportunity. Their message is about economic dependency. America is about economic freedom. And, of course, how they are enslaving the entrepreneurial will, which is causing so many small businesses to close up so that Americans have to be more dependent upon government. I want to unleash that entrepreneurial spirit and get capital flowing out here so we can get more storefronts open back up. So I don't want
Congressman, why do you think that the Democrats chose such a I'm going to try to use a polite description of Debbie Wasserman Schultz. Why have they chosen such a provocative, angry, distasteful human being to be their chairman?
Well, I think that, my colleague from down here in Florida, she represents the liberal progressives that are now running the Democrat Party.
You mean they're just all mean-spirited, foul-mouthed attack dogs?
Well, I think that that's what you see. And I think, the sooner that the Republican Party understands that this is a bare-knuckle fist fight, they will, maybe be victorious in this upcoming election. But if they think that this is going to be a nice, simple, fair fight, I want to tell them a lesson that I learned from a Marine first sergeant by the name of Jim Reifinger. He said, if you ever find yourself in a fair fight, it's all because your tactics suck. This is not going to be a fair fight.
No, it isn't, and that's what worries me about Romney. When I heard about a few months ago, he said, "Oh, Obama's a good man. He's just over his head." I said, "Oh my God, here we go. It's John McCain. It's John McCain all over again." That's why McCain lost in the last election.
No, we can no longer be a punching bag for the liberals, and that's why I'm the number one target for the Democrat Party, because I see them for who they are, and I'm willing to call them out on it. I just hope and wish that my fellow Republicans from top to bottom will do the exact same and not isolate those of us who want to stand up for principle with pragmatic passion behind it.
Well, before you leave us today on the Savage Nation, because we're going to go back after you leave to something far less important, which is horse racing and HBO's drama called Luck and all of that stuff, what can people do who are concerned about what the Republicans are doing to you? That's what worries me. Here you are, a Republican star. You're a true conservative. You're a war hero. Why are they trying to cut the legs out from under you by redistricting your own district, meaning gerrymandering you out of business? What are they trying to achieve here?
If I could answer that I would get $1 million. I think that, Maybe you can call up to the Florida legislature and see if they'd be willing to come on your show and explain it. And the good people in the Savage Nation can contact the Florida legislature and, ask them a very simple question: Whiskey Tango Foxtrot.
I hear you, Congressman West. Always a pleasure. By the way, I hope the next time that I'm in Florida and you're down there, we can say hello again. In regards to your lovely family.
Oh, my family would love to see you again, sir, and thank you so much.
And by the way, I know what they like now for food.
Yeah, they're pretty simple.
No, I remember we had a whole bunch of Italian food out. Everybody liked the same exact dish. I didn't have enough of it.
No, it was great, and I look forward to breaking bread with you again.
All right, thank you again, Congressman Alan West. Imagine if we had, let's say, net 100%. Could you imagine what this country would be like if we had 25% of Congress as authentic frontline combat troops come back and want to serve America in Congress? Can you imagine the different world we'd be in? Can you imagine if 1% of reporters were former combat veterans instead of about 0.0001%? What a different country this would be.